Well, hello everyone. My name is Deb Floros and I am a full-time jewelry designer. I love cuff bracelets. So this was a cuff that was from so I left the inside intentionally untouched because I wanted to show you what this looked like. So this is from a mall store that sold shoes and clothing. And I don't remember where I got this crazy cuff bracelet, but it was in pretty bad shape and it is huge. So let me show you. I'm going to put this on. Now it was a brassy look piece, but it's not brass. So since it had some problems with the plating, I thought, you know what, this is just too cool. I have to do something with this. So why not intentionally patina this? So I did. And this was my tester piece. So I'll say it's not perfect, but it looks like it's old world, just really aged, on its own. And this kind of look in jewelry is fairly popular. There are products that you can buy to patina metal, patina paints that you can use to paint. But I made my own. And so we're going to patina paint another cuff. So this one's like probably not for everybody. It is a big honkin' cuff bracelet, but I just had fun painting this and making it look interesting and unique. And you can do this with so many things. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and then I'm going to show you how. So here's another cuff. And this cuff is actually like a bird wing. And I thought it was just so cool, has some very cool texturing, but it's got some plating problems. And it's got that kind of weird yellowish hue to it. It's probably not coming through the same way with all the lights in here. But I started doing the patina to test it out to see how it would look. And I love that. And this piece also has a little hole right here. And I assume that something was dangling from that. Now, if you're a jewelry maker, you never leave anything like that alone. You got to put something there, a charm, a bead. So I'm going to do that first, and that's super easy. So I'm going to sit back down for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a head pin and I'm going to take a bead, just a solo bead. This is a gemstone bead. It's called Blue Sky Jasper. It's dyed, and it kind of is in the same color vibe as the patina. So I'm just going to drop this guy onto my head pin here, and I'm going to be using some round nose pliers, one of the jewelry making staples for tools. And I'm going to create a loop up top. And then I'm going to open up that loop just a little bit so that I can put it into that little hole right there. So I'm going to just wire wrap this directly onto the cuff. I just got to grab some pliers. So I'm going to grab these precision chain nose pliers, hold on to that loop, and then I'm going to wrap the wire around the bead. So put some wraps around it like that. And then I got to grab my cutters, and we're just going to snip off the excess of that head pin. And this is a really, if you're not a jewelry person, this is a really common technique. So this is one of the things, if you want to be a jewelry maker, that you'll want to learn. So we now have our little dangle. So this task has been satisfied. So we now have filled that hole. You just can't leave it alone. Like if you make jewelry, you just have to put something there. So we're going to put these tools away, and now we're going to make our patina. And you might be surprised at how I do this, and you might think maybe I'm a little crazy. I do mixing on cardboard because I I work so fast with the material and move it onto whatever I'm working with. Cardboard works fine for me, but you might have some kind of a plastic container that you do mixing in. But this is what I like to use, and this is recycled from cat food boxes because I'm a cat mom. And so here I've got just a craft store paintbrush, and here's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some clear gel Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to use some craft store acrylic paint. So I think this is a Michael's brand. I'm not certain 100%, but it's a turquoise color. So typically your patinas have a greenish or bluish look to them. So we're going to create a little bit of patina. So I know this sounds crazy, but it's really kind of fun, and I think it looks cool. So I'm just going to put some of the glue out, and then hopefully I can open this without getting it everywhere. Then I'm going to do just a drop, maybe a drop and a half of the turquoise paint. And then I'm going to use my paintbrush, pull this down a little bit, and I'm just going to mix. And it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be completely mixed, but I just kind of mix that around. And then here's what I'm doing. I'm going to hold on to my piece, and I'm just going to paint it right on to the metal. So we're just going to add some intentional patina to our piece. And I try to put it on going in one direction to start with. You can go whichever direction you'd like to start with, and just kind of getting that painted on. So you see, it's just kind of making it look, I don't know, better, because you're no longer seeing the flaws. You're seeing this patina, which I'm sure people would know it's not real, but it just adds a cool vibe to it. And I'm going to come down here and go all the way to the very end. And this turquoise paint looks great, but you could also use like a green color if that's more your vibe, or go crazy, just use a different color. And maybe you're not creating a patinaed look, but you're creating more of just a color. So you could use a red paint or yellow, orange, I don't know, there's so many colors of paint out there. So I'm now going kind of downwards, and the glue can get a little bit sticky because it's doing its job, but you can always swirl out a little bit more, and you can add more paint to it if you'd like. But look at how that completely transformed this piece. Just completely transformed the look of it. And it looks like it was meant to be like this, versus it looks sad because it was unloved and maybe someone found it in a box of old jewelry at a garage sale, which is, I think, where I found this one. So just, you can do as many coats as you would like. I find coming in and doing maybe a little more brushing with the handmade patina, you get just a nice coating of it, but you could do as much or as little as you'd like. Now, because we would need some dry time, I would normally do the inside as well. So the inside also could use some paint. We talked about not doing the other side of things. Like, you can do the other side, and then your whole piece will look consistent. And we also have our cool dangle. The last thing I would do, which is what I did with the other piece, is I come in with the Aleene's acrylic sealer. So I just take my piece outside. My studio is right next to an empty lot, and I take a piece of cardboard out into the out into the desert, and I drop the piece on it, and I spray it down and let it dry a little bit and bring it in. And then you've got this just fun, cool, cool piece. So I was going to show you one more. Oh, and I'll show you another trick. So with this, this one was fairly easy because I started it before the show. But if you want to paint something and it has a tendency to rock, you can come in with a clothespin, and you can rest it with the clothespin so that you can actually paint it. So you don't have to hold it. You can use a clothespin to position it and keep it in place while you're painting. These things, they have saved me for so many projects like this. I've also taken cuff bracelets and put flatback rhinestones on them, or rhinestone cup chain, or even Bible verses or poetry. So these little things just help me out when I'm trying to navigate through working with cuffs. I'm a bit of a cuff fanatic, so I've done so many different things with them. So last thing I want to show is we're going to do this same thing with this. So this is a stretch bracelet, and it's a little worse for wear. It's really cool. I love the closure of it, but I love working with the pieces of a stretch bracelet. So very often they are 2-hole or 4-hole, I guess you would say. So 2 holes here on this side, 2 holes on that side. I love taking them and making them into a bracelet. It's one of my most favorite things to do. So these guys look a little, I don't know, they don't look so good. So we can breathe some new life into them by making them, patina. So let's just do the patina thing one more time on a couple of these so you can see what it looks like. So I've got the top off my glue already, and I'm just going to spin some glue around, and then I'm going to take some paint, and then we're going to mix again. So because I'm using it so fast, I feel okay about it on the cardboard, like I said. And then I'm just going to come in and paint this guy. Now this one has some indentations on it. And what I played around a little bit with was just coming in with a paper towel and wiping that off. So you're getting most of the surface off, but you're still keeping that color in the grooves. So I would go over it again and try and get into those grooves, and just try and get all of those grooves filled in with our patina, and then come in with my paper towel again. And if you needed to, you could use like a toothpick. So I'm seeing I've got a few little stubborn spots, but look how fun that is. So now, you take a look at the old version. Yeah, but it just needed something. It's just a little tired. So we put a little bit of patina paint in there, and it lands in those grooves. And now if I decide to do 1 or 3 of those pieces or all of the pieces, I can then string them up for a brand new bracelet, and it's going to look really lovely and different than how it looked before. And everybody loves the color turquoise. I think it's just one of the most popular colors out there, at least in the jewelry world. So just something fun that you can do. So I'm hoping that maybe some of you will be thinking, wow, I've got some jewelry that I can do this with. I would just come in with my sealer once this has dried, and then let the sealer dry, and then you can just go crazy and do all kinds of fun things with your homemade patina paint with Aleene's clear gel tacky glue.